Welcome to the full Brundall Town Council meeting on this Monday 14th of October. Before we get going into it, just a few little housekeeping things. You've heard it all before. If in the rare occasion that the fire alarm should go off, please leave the building but do not use the lift. Anybody that's disabled, there's several people around here fully trained in the back chair. So we can drop you down the stairs, Peter. There are fire exits front and rear, but the preferred one is if you can congregate on the Market Hill, if that should happen. The fire door, is it shut? It needs to be.
It is.
Yeah, good. And could you all turn mobile phones either onto silent or off altogether? The meeting is being live streamed, but the audience, the camera is behind you, so you won't be in view, but you will be seen. I will move on to agenda item number 1, which is apologies for absence and approval for the reasons tendered. Oh no, I won't just at that point. I will introduce our new town clerk, Tina Connell.
I won't say anything. Finally. Let you carry on.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, apologies for absence, Tina. Or Jackie.
We have Councillor Skinner and Councillor Hughes.
Thank you very much. Declarations of interest and additions to members' register of interest. I would suspect the book was passing around, so everybody's made it up. Number 3, to receive a report from Squadron Leader Eaton from RAF Leighton Heath. He's unfortunately unable to come, but there will be in your pack what he would have said anyway, so I won't go through that because you can all read it. Item number 4, to receive, confirm and sign the minutes of the Brandon Town Council meeting of Monday the 9th of September. Could I have somebody to propose, please? Thank you, Nicky. And second?
Yeah.
Yep, thank you very much. Could I take a vote on that, please? Linda?
Oh, sorry.
That's you now.
It's
not with it today.
Give it the council now.
Number 5 is matters arising from information exchange only of the full council meeting of 9th of September, and I don't believe there are any. Number 6 is...
Peter's in.
Yeah.
Councillor.
Yeah. Paragraph 5 on page 710. I mentioned it in July. I mentioned it September, but I mention it now. The item 24 that you actually wanted to be put to the council, you've referred it and deferred it. Is it being deferred again, or is it going to be discussed in the near future?
It will come back at some point, I would guess.
Because I'm dead set against that particular item.
Well, fine, but it's not for discussion tonight, Peter. Thank you. Item number 6, urgent business. Nobody has contacted me 48 hours prior to the meeting, so there is no. Number 7, to receive a written report from the town clerk. It's in our packs, so I will take it that everybody has received it. Number 8, public forum. A monthly event limited to 3 minutes duration maximum per resident. This will include county, district and town councillors and also community group representatives. And I will start with this with our district councillor, if I may, which is Councillor Lucanik. County. That's what I meant to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm not sure whether to start with the good news or the bad news, Mr. Chairman. They're both highways issues. I think I'll go with the good news first. Many have noticed that Elizabeth Road has been resurfaced. So we've had Elizabeth Road done, we've had George Street done, we've had parts of Petford Road done. They've been out, they've put the white lines in some of the places, not all the places. Be patient. And the yellow chevrons have also been repainted as well. So highways, Mr. Chairman, they have been proactive, and I will continue to pressure them for the results for the town.
Thank you.
Now, Mr. Chairman, I'll move on to the bad news. Cadent, the gas company, have pitched up in Brandon, and they're replacing, as all of you know, a gas main in Green Road. Now they've decided to dump the spoil on one of our amenity grounds without consultation in the worst possible place, Thetford Road, on a bend, on a junction, and no consideration for some of the volunteers who have put all those spring bulbs in there over several years. I've made contact with the contractors and County Highways, who admit a mistake has been made, and however, I have been assured that they will cease their dumping and promised to landscape the damage. I'm also attempting, Mr. Chairman, to claim for the damage for the spring bulbs. Chairman, that concludes my county report, but could I continue with my district report?
Absolutely, please do.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Tomorrow, West Suffolk Council will be voting for a new recycling scheme, and much of it is statutory as well. Basically, they want the glass separated from the cardboard. So you'll be getting 2 recycle bins, one for glass, cans and Tetra Packs, and the other for dry recycling. So basically they want you to do some of the recycling yourselves. They want some assistance from the public to recycle material. On top of an additional bin, recycling bin, we will also have a small caddy for your food waste. Not my idea, that's a statutory thing. And they will collect that once every week. And that'll stand about 18 inches high. What the outcome will be with that, I'm not sure. That I can remember 25 years ago when they gave us a little caddy for our tea bags and our potato peelings. I never actually used it. In fact, I drilled a hole in it and turned it into a bird box, and it was that wasn't successful either, Mr. Chairman. But the most important thing, in my opinion, is that the black bin, your waste bin, will still get picked up once every 2 weeks. There is no change on that. Chair, that concludes my reports.
Thank you very much. District? Nor I.
Hello. May I ask a question?
You may.
I'm shocked at this vote tomorrow, to be honest. I remember we had that gentleman came and kept us here for hours and hours and hours, who seemed to imply that it was going to be some time away. And all of a sudden it's tomorrow. So I'm not sure. Were we misled, do you think? Does anybody else have that opinion?
Yes.
Yeah.
They were sent down to
Can
consultation,
you
but
conclude the chair, please?
sorry, Mr. Chairman. Just on the same course, it's like they've talked about it would depend on consultation. Well, this is the first we've heard of the consultation result.
I think the clue is in what Councillor Mechanic said. Much of it is government legislation. So it's something we have to do. Would you like to come back
I
on
would.
that, Councillor?
The vote for tomorrow night, so they can prepare themselves for the introduction in 2026. That's when that's kicking in. Why they've rushed us off to a full council meeting, that's an EGM actually, apparently because they need notice to have the caddies manufactured. The caddies, you cannot go out and buy the caddies. And all the rest of Suffolk are going to need the caddies, so we're getting our order in first. But the food waste is a statutory obligation. They have discovered, and I'm dubious about the statistics, they have discovered that 250 litre bin can hold up to 70 litres of food per week or per fortnight. So basically, Mr. Chairman, there's a rush to get the caddies manufactured, but this won't come in until 2026. Does that answer your question, Councillor Pennell?
It does answer my question, but it makes me ask another one. If I'm allowed.
Can it be very brief?
It can.
We've done this to death. Thank you.
Because, well, I don't think we have done it to death, Mr. Chairman, to be fair. I think it's the first we've ever heard of it. What is it acceptable for us to ask what our district councillors are intending to vote in that aspect? Because we have 3 around the table.
Yeah, well, I'll be voting in favour. without a doubt, 100% in favour.
Okay, I'm just asking.
Thank you. Okay.
The other two? There's two more.
Not that Russell is at present. No, I'm voting in favour. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
Can I
you.
ask, couple of things first. What about the blue bin? Is that going to be every fortnight, or is that going to
Yeah,
be
that's
every
so
week?
you're going to get the glass picked up every fortnight and the dry waste picked up. That doesn't change that much, except for the fact that you've got an additional recycle bin.
Last one, Henry.
Sorry.
Last one, because...
And
we
before,
need to move
when
on.
the gentlemen were here, they were
Yeah.
talking about getting rid of bottle banks. Is that still going to happen then?
May I,
That is still out.
Right.
can I answer that, Chair, or can I elaborate on that?
Yeah. I'm getting a bit frustrated because we
Okay.
had Mark here
Yeah.
for 2 hours telling us all about it, and
Okay.
all of this information was passed to everybody at that time. So I'm not going to continue revisiting it, if that's okay.
I accept your position, Chairman.
Thank you.
I want to ask County Council, the Wangford
Yeah.
works that was used on a triple SSI, they're
Peter,
supposed to be
Peter, can I
vacated.
interrupt? Can you ask him outside of this meeting, please?
Well, no, surely that's for the public to hear and the councillors to hear. Why should I have to ask out in the market square? This is what
Well, no,
council meetings
you
for.
either email or write or speak on the phone to the councillor and he will answer your question. It's your question. So I'm moving on.
Are
if
these
that's
councillors
okay. Thank you
interested
very much.
about that building site that's on Wangford Turning? Surely the members of the public are interested? That's not right.
Well, they can contact you if they're interested after the meeting. Thank you. Town councillors' reports. Gary, I think you have one. Was it?
Well, I didn't know whether that was cemetery or not.
Yeah, well, it will be because we don't
Do you want
have.
to do that before the public forum because there may be questions? I don't know.
Yeah, that's basically why.
Yeah. At the recent town cemetery meeting, or new cemetery meeting, which was held last week, we had a really productive meeting and we had some new actions agreed upon. The town keepers will be instructed to trim the new cemetery entrance, which will then allow ground access to vehicles to park and use the spoils from the current cemetery to achieve this if necessary. We're to seek quotes for writing of the planning application and to set up a working group at the next meeting. The working group is such that they will just be able to come back and report so they can look at it and they can have independent people with them. So that was out there from that meeting. Thank you.
Thank you.
I do have one. I'll go in there.
Yeah.
Okay. And also, I've been asked by the representative of the Royal British Legion Poppy Appeal, specifically aimed at the councillors actually, but any of the members of the public, if you can spare any time at all over the 2 weeks towards the end of this month and the start of the following month, to man stall in Aldi or Tesco's for a couple of hours. I think it'd be rather nice if we could get a really good councillor attendance there. And it would be good for the public. Actually, they might be able to come and ask you some questions whilst you're there and you're extracting some money from the property bill. Thank you, Chair.
Lovely. Thank you. Nothing else. I will move on to agenda item number 9, which is.
Public.
Oh yeah, sorry. I'm in too much of a rush this evening, aren't I? I will move to the public forum then. Over to you, Annette.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Annette Meadows, and I'd like to thank the new clerk for the response to my email at lunchtime. Thank you for that. But I'd like to remind this town council, if I may, on our council tax bills, 19% is taken to Brandon Town Council, which gives us the right to be here of an evening and able to ask questions when we need them answered. We shouldn't be all the time about what's on the agenda. Other things happen They happen during the day, like today, things happen. And we should be able to come here, put our hand up and have it answered. But in this time, I will go to an agenda item. But you should realise we all pay council tax and a percentage of it comes to this town council, which gives us the right. Thank you for that.
And we voted for them.
Yes, don't forget that.
Sorry,
We're not an audience.
one at a time. Thank you.
And also regarding agenda number 12, the grant application, S137 grant. Now, I presume councillors who are actively involved in certain things have signed the register.
Yes.
And also, the rules actually state that if you have an active interest, depending on what active interest you have, it is advisable to abstain because it can be looked as though it
Excuse
is
me, can I
corruption.
interrupt? You will see that the rules will be followed, Annette.
Yes, they will, and I am quoting,
Yeah,
because you're quoting to us the rules, the same applies to you.
thank you very much. Your points have been noted. Anybody else? Right, I shall now move on to number 9, which is correspondence. We have a letter from SARS reading the grant they received, which is in your pack, so you can receive that. I also have a letter from Judy Redding. Does the Town Council have plans to, what's that say? Prune lock the trees in the orchard. They are getting out of hand and haven't been pruned in years. What we are going to do, we have the trees on the avenue and the cemetery and churchyard, the limes, which have a rolling maintenance programme on them, which is funded and has to be funded, otherwise we can't do the work. With the trees, other trees, we are going to conduct a survey by an arborist who will look at the trees and advise on a rolling maintenance programme. As such, at the moment, we do not have the finance put aside for that, but it will be one of the projects for next year after May. And I hope that answers your question. Yes, they will be looked at. Thank you. Item number 10 on the agenda, accounts, to approve the payments for September 2024. Do I have a proposer?
I have some questions, if I may.
If you have questions, can you take them to the office prior to the meeting, please? It's unlikely that they would have the information at hand here. So,
Well, no, that's not right.
Well, I don't think that's correct. It's just, they're simple questions, but if that's the case,
I mean, you can ask them, I can't guarantee I can answer them.
yeah, that's it. You can ask, but we can't guarantee that the town clerk can answer them.
Okay, just a couple of items on there. We have a lot of long may it continue. The Christmas events items are starting to appear. It's coming. We can't get rid of that, can we? And long may they reign. Does that come out of the events budget, or is that just part of normal council expenditure? Do we know?
That is out of the events budget.
Yeah.
Thank you. I noticed there's an item on the 17th of the 9th, Cloudy Group Limited laptops,
Yeah.
£2,032.
Yeah.
Laptops. We agreed that we would purchase a laptop for the new town clerk, but
We
with
did.
with an S on it, it just makes me wonder. I'm not sure why.
We actually purchased 2.
Did we? Well, I don't think that was what we agreed. I'm just raising the issue. And Cranberry Comms, Microsoft 365. I see that's every month. Is that a subscription or something? I don't.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Is that what it costs?
For the licences, yeah.
That's where you.
Oh, I wasn't aware. It just seems very expensive on that.
I don't know, I haven't actually looked at their costs.
No, it just seems strange that we'd be buying Microsoft from a third-party supplier, but that is, I've just wondered about the cost, that was all.
If you
Thank you.
buy it from a third-party supplier, it's normally because there's some level of support included in that, but I have been informed that we have no IT support.
No, okay. Are we comfortable with the laptops as opposed to laptop?
Yes.
Well, no, you are. Okay, I've just raised the issue.
Lovely, thank you.
As long as it's in the minutes.
It's within budget, and actually, I was just I wasn't involved in the purchase, but, because I know, I should say that there is a interest, although not a pecuniary interest, I do consultancy work for the IT. But I'm not involved in their sales in any way, shape or form, and that's not where my income comes from. I come from training and consultancy. So, however, I believe, and I'm looking at Jackie, that they were able to procure two, and Jackie's laptop needed replacing as well as it wasn't functioning properly.
The price of one.
So you had two for the budget that was set for one laptop, both of which fit the requirement you requested.
Thank you. So, do I have a proposer for the accounts, please? Thank you, Gary. Claire, thank you for seconding. A vote, please. Those against? Any abstentions? Thank you. Carried. Item number 11, to receive income and expenditure statement against budget for August 2024. It is in your packs, so we will take it that it has been received. Item number 12, grant application. Discussion to consider S137 grants from the Friends of the Brandon Station.
Might I request a name vote on this particular one, please?
You may.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I see Councillor Palmer, or former Councillor Palmer, in the audience. Would you like to present your request?
Okay, well, I'll give you a couple of brief statements, a couple of paragraphs, okay? And then you can ask me any questions after I've said those, okay? Most of you will know the station building was designed by sculptor John Thomas and completed in 1845. The station is currently Grade 2 listed and has been for the last 4 years. This was once, and could be once again, one of the outstanding Victorian buildings in Brandon. The station and most of the services was transferred to on the 5th of February 2012. Greater Anglia, who's got the franchise of that building and with the rolling stock, are one of the top operators in the country, and there's a fleet of modern rolling stock with reliable and frequent services, and the train fares are reasonable. Friends of Brandon Station was formed following the meeting on the 14th of June. Greater Anglia wished to know how much local support there was in town. Greater Anglia wished to have this building fully restored as soon as possible and were willing to provide some support towards it, substantial support towards it. Our next meeting is on the 25th of October at 11 AM at the British Legion. Now, Forbes' job, Friend of Brandon Station, is to get the building fully repaired on the outside and partly on the inside to a standard equal to its original appearance. The inside will have to be repaired to a modern standards. Part could be accommodation, office use, use for train passengers, and for use local community use. This building could be a very valuable asset to the community. The group would like both moral and financial support from Brandon Town Council to see this project through. Thank you.
Thank you. Any comments from the table? Councillor Pinnell.
This troubles me a little. I'm in full support of the development of the building. I'm a little unsure who actually owns it, and perhaps someone could answer that question for me.
Network Rail.
Great Wrangler.
Okay. And I just worry that it's a substantial amount of money. And please forgive me, David. And I have come up to all your meetings and I fully support what we need to do on there. History, unfortunately, has not been kind in regard to the redevelopment of the station. And I think there's been a lot of work on it previously which has not come to fruition, which is unfortunate. £1,000 is a lot of money, and I have trouble thinking that we might just put it in and it may not again come to fruition and we would lose that money. It would just be gone. My thoughts are that perhaps we should reduce the amount initially so we haven't got so much exposure. I do believe that they do need some seed capital to start the thing off and to get it going, but with the option to come back and get the balance that they've asked for at some later date, when we can see some progression or some contributions from other areas rather than just us. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Kelly.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yeah, I must confess I am uncomfortable with this request. I don't believe it's the responsibility of the Town Council to set this in motion. The station is owned by a multi-million-pound company. It's either Network Rail and Greater Anglia. So where is their contribution? It's in Norfolk. Do we have a contribution from Weeting Parish Council? No, we don't. Do we have a contribution from Breckland Council? No, we don't. So why should Brandon Town Council shoulder all the burden? We are informed we have 80 plus enthusiasts, and that includes me as well, to renovate the station. If we all chipped in a mere £10 of those 80 people, you'd have virtually all the money you wanted. Friends of Brandon Station have gone for the easy option here. They've grabbed the lower hanging fruit and decided to cosh the Town Council. That's how it seems to me. That is my opinion. And there's too much of that which goes on. They need to do more work on this. It's all rather rushed. No business plan, no accounts, and no constitution. All seems extremely vague and risky, Mr. Chairman. And one other thing we need to consider. That corner of Brandon is the filthiest corner in Brandon, and we may struggle to find the investment unless, of course, the aggregate facility relocates. As I said, I am uncomfortable with the request, and we need to be careful committing scarce public funds on a precarious scheme, especially since funds can come from other sources. And as a footnote, Chairman, I've been to Suffolk County Council, I've been to West Suffolk Council and Breckland Council for funds in relation to the station without any success. Mr. Chairman, I won't be voting for the motion. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Kelly. Anybody else? Gary.
Yeah, unfortunately I couldn't go to the meetings, but I've been and spoken with David quite frequently, and he knows I'm in full support of this plan down there. One of the ones in there, David, the website, you've got £900 down. Is that the first year, or is that
No, that's for 3 years.
Okay. That makes it a little bit better. Is there the opportunity there to pay the supplier over a period, in light of where Malcolm said about drip feeding something?
Generally speaking, you pay for the set-up cost and then a monthly payment.
Okay. So that would possibly work with Councillor Pinnell's suggestion of a dripping, because that is the bulk of the application there, £900.
Anybody else?
Well, yeah.
Councillor Ridgewell.
Well, the railway station is like what Victor said. Yeah, it's on the north side. But it is an asset for Brandon. The people of Brandon is virtually 95% use that railway station. You might get a small percentage of Weeting and the surrounding villages on the Norfolk side using that. That station, the railway come to Norfolk from Yarmouth to Norwich. That was the first bit of railway built from Great Yarmouth to Norwich. Then Norwich to Brandon. That's where it finished, Brandon. It was one railway line from Brandon to Yarmouth via Norwich. And it became Brandon, Norwich, Yarmouth Railway. The eastern counties operated from London Bishopsgate and built the railway going north, Cambridge, Ely, and joined up at Brandon. On the 30th of July 1845, the railway was linked to London, and then the people from Cambridge and Ely was linked to Norwich. That station building, as I say, is an asset. I've been inside that building when it was a nice building. And just trying to think how many years, but we had Liz Truss and Matt Hancock as the MPs, and there was an event in the railway station. They had special mugs, etc., and there was a buffet inside, and it was nice. But after that, somebody's come along and deliberately destroyed that building inside, deliberately. I've been inside it as it was, I've been inside as it is now. It hasn't had woodworm put in it, it's had sledgehammers, etc., etc. It's been deliberately left to be pulled down, because that's the easiest option. But I feel, like many other people, and plenty of other organisations for historical buildings, want it kept, looked after. I know it's a lot of money, it says they're nearly enough, £4.5 million.
Yeah. Can you finish in the next sentence, please, Peter?
I think we should give the £1,000 for local person of David Palmer, who set it up. It's not the full amount of 1,450, which is what it says, total budget, but £1,000 should cover this website total and any sort of like sundries. I think we should definitely look for helping Dave Palmer.
Thank you very much.
Chairman, can I make a proposal here? Have we got time to make a proposal?
Is it an amendment to the agenda item?
Absolutely.
Then you can go through the process of asking for an amendment, and if it's agreed, then it will pass.
Oh, could I have an amendment, Chairman? Could I
You can go through the process,
have an amendment,
Councillor.
and I'll make a proposal for the amendment.
Yeah.
If all those 80 people, including me, chip in a tenner, you'll have £800. Then there's a balance of £200, and the proposal is, Chairman, that Brandon Town Council pays the £200, and that's what the amendment would be. And if we vote on that, then we can attach that to the substantive vote.
You need a seconder for the amendment?
So I'm looking for a seconder, Chairman.
Do we have a seconder?
Okay, substantive.
So we have a seconder.
If we've got a seconder, we need to vote on that first.
So we'll put that to the vote for the...
On the vote?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are we voting on that? Those for, those against? You're against? Yeah.
Well, can we have a show of hands? Who's for? Can we have a show of hands or not?
So there's been an amendment.
Started that bit.
Yeah, so the first vote was for. How many hands went up for that? 2?
Two.
Then they voted against. 2?
2, 3,
That's
4,
3, 4, 5. Okay, so the vote
There's
is
more
failed.
now against.
So the
than there
vote is failed, so it goes back to the original proposal.
Can I propose substantive to that?
There's another amendment.
Yes, thank you. I would like to propose that we give them half of the funds now out of the 2024 budget, and that the other half can be revisited next year when we've added to that pot again. It allows other groups the opportunity to, between now and the end of the financial year, and that also then shows the support to the station. They know that they'll have some support next year.
So that means a seconder?
Seconder?
I'll second, Chair.
Those in favour? Those against?
Just down at the bottom, look up.
Amendment passed.
I did
Thank
ask
you.
for a name vote.
Sorry?
I did ask for a name vote at the beginning.
Well, I think it's everybody anyway.
It's already been noted. Good, thank you. So, can we vote on the substantive now?
No, it's done.
It's done. It's done. That's it. You've got your 500 quid. Thank you. We will move on to grant application for the Royal British Legion Brandon branch. And you have an interest. Pecuniary? No? Okay.
I would just say that if councillors feel that even though it's not pecuniary, that they wish to remove themselves from the vote now for transparency reasons.
Okay, thank you.
Councillor Nicky Seaworth.
Thank you. And I have signed the book, and I didn't vote last year, and I have no intention of voting this year because I understand that I'm part of the Legion. But you're right, and I'm really glad you highlighted it because there's a reason that I don't vote for this. Okay? The Royal British Legion are asking for help with our remembrance service. We provide entertainment, we provide food and beverages for the town after the Remembrance Parade. We've done it for the last 3 years. It's very successful. Every year it grows more. Last year we catered for 300, 350, and there were still people that didn't get to eat. So we obviously need to up it this year. All of the food is, although it's paid for obviously, all of the food is prepared for free, it's served for free, nobody pays anything as they walk in the door. It's the tiny bit that we can do for our community on Remembrance Sunday. We do, however, need some help. We are fundraising ourselves. We've got bingos in place. We've got our usual things that we do to help raise some money. We've put a very low total cost of the project of 500, which is what we're aiming for. We're asking for some help with half of it, please.
Thank you.
Madam Chair.
Yeah, Councillor McKenna.
Thank you, Rob. Firstly, I'd like to publicly thank the British Legion for all the work they do on a very special day, and in my opinion, that's one of the most important days in the calendar. I stand to be corrected, but I think they asked for £250 last year. They're asking for £250 this year. I think we've all experienced increases in our shopping bill, so just to demonstrate our appreciation for what they do on that Sunday, I think, Mr. Chairman, that's not unreasonable for us to offer them an additional £100 to the 250 and making that £350.
That would have to be an amendment if you're proposing.
I'm proposing. Do I have a seconder?
Yeah.
They've fallen over the self chairman to second it.
Okay, we'll take a vote on that. Unanimous.
Thank you. Done?
Okay,
That's done.
that's done. Last but not least on this. Last but not least on this 137, we have Abercroft Leisure. Were you going to present that, sir?
Yes, I can talk about it briefly.
Yeah, please.
So just really quickly for everyone here, Teen Shield is a youth club that runs at the Brandon Leisure Centre on a Friday evening, 7 till 9 p.m. Provide young people an opportunity to socialise and take part in various activities in a safe place. We have 2 dedicated youth workers that support young people, whether that be facilitation of activities and or gathering insight and feedback as to the session or what we can bring. So that may be that we link with other statutory services or other local groups to expose those opportunities. So that can be from mental health interventions all the way down to forming, for example, a tuck shop. I know that in our original proposal to Brandon Town Council that we asked for more than what I believe was the allocated budget. But I also just wanted to give you just a few stats here. So from September 2023 to September this year, we've had 1,098 visits of young people. That consists of 119 unique individuals. So obviously the visits is the retention, but the unique individuals is that child counted once per visit for Teen Chill. Within 6 months of that 1,098, 634 visits. We're currently averaging about 28 young people a week. Obviously it fluctuates from half term and school term. As part of our insight and evaluation to showcase to West Suffolk Family Community Offices, to local town councils as well, 64% have visited for more than 6 months, so just shows the great retention there. 91% recommended Teen Chill to a friend, and 72% scores 8 or higher in terms of enjoyment and safety coming along with Teen Chill. Originally, we were looking at actually dedicating the leisure centre purely to young people. I presented to town councillors a few months ago. Basically, Teen Chill was so popular, it was actually, we're getting more visits from young people than our generic direct debit membership base. So it was our aspiration to make the whole leisure centre youth dedicated, which will remain obviously extra resource. But we've reviewed that, so we're not going to disclose it to our paid for members. However, what we will do is promote actively that Abbey Croft and the Brandon Leisure Health Hub on Friday evenings is to support young people. Primarily, the young people who attend are Key Stage 2, so ages from 10 years old, and we offer up to 16. Thank you very much for everyone's time.
Thank you. Councillor Purnell.
Oh, go on.
Look, total confusion in what I was reading here and what I eventually came to understand. So first of all, I guess I should say thank you for finding things for the kids to do on a Friday evening. One of my own children attends on a regular basis, books it in, does all the right stuff. It's good value for £1. However, I read this thing and it said here that you're asking for 10,980 quid. And I read your article, your request here, and it says you're to support the expansion of Teen Chill sessions. Currently you can cater for 32 and you want to go to 48. So that's another 16 children, and I thought 16 children for £10,980, that's £685 a child. That doesn't really seem to be good value. But then when I went through the figures quite deeply, I got to the bit at the end and it said actually 10,980 is to run the whole thing, not to expand. It is a year's cost of running Teen Chill. The additional cost of another staff member is only £2,390. So I don't know if any of my other colleagues were a bit concerned about that, but it certainly made me a bit more interested. So I really don't know what you want. Sorry, you have to wait for Mr. Chairman. I really don't know what.
Yeah, thank you.
10,000 is just out of my remit anyway.
Okay.
If I may, Chairman.
Councillor McCarry.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Firstly, I'd like to thank you for your presentation. Sorry, what's your first name?
My name's Charlie.
Thanks for coming along, Charlie. That's a colossal amount of money. If I can ask the financial advisor in the corner there, what is the pot for the 137 money?
I don't think so.
Do we know what the pot is?
It's about, no, it's gone down because of last month. It's about 7.
It's about 6,400.
Yeah,
Well, if we've only got 6,000 in the pot, Chairman, we are not in a position to pay them what they're asking. So whether we stop here and now, I'm not sure, but there is no match funding on their behalf, which is a bit of a disappointment. On paragraph 7, it talks of the presentation, and there's a phrase here I've never heard of, and I have no idea what it means. It says targeted intervention groups. That does puzzle me. They have expanded the services apparently, including mental health, sexual health, careers. I mean, surely, Mr. Chairman, this is for the schools or the doctors or the parents. Now, in the past, we as district councillors have happily contributed, and I'm quite prepared to do it again, but I'm certainly not prepared to meet anywhere near the £11,000, Chairman. So, I mean, how it stands at the moment, I'll be voting against the motion.
Thank you. Councillor Brocklehurst.
Can I ask Charlie, have you, do you run similar schemes in other centres? And if so, how are they funded?
Yeah, of course. Yes, so we have, including Brandon, we have 4 other teen chills. Primarily they've been funded by the Suffolk Police Crime Commissioner, which Brandon Teen Chill was funded back in 2022 for a year's worth of funding. And in that year, Brandon Town Council also match funded or made up the difference that we can get the full funding from. So yes, Suffolk Police Crime Commissioner have funded the majority of all our teen chills for a year, and then we approach either local town councils or we speak to the local authority like West Suffolk Council to look at other reserve pots to support.
Personally, I would think that a project like this and on this size, it is a district thing, and from that side, I couldn't support. But I think on the smaller figures, when you come and say we need £1,000 for something, we're more than happy to try and help, as you can see with some of the applications tonight. So on that one, I can't, I'm afraid.
Can I say something quickly? I do. It's just that I never knew there was a cap. I didn't know how much the town council had or did not have. So for us, obviously being benefactors of the town council previously, I think we were obviously proposing what it costs for Teen Chill for a year. And yes, with our expansion, we've added additional activities or additional staff member, etc. That's why we thought we'd paint a full picture.
So basically, you'd be happy something's better than nothing.
Correct.
Right.
So, may I ask, the expansion, Teen Chill will continue to go on?
Yeah, absolutely.
And the expansion, if we gave you something tonight, would go towards it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I do recall when we came down, Councillor Rakanik and I came down, and you gave us the presentation, we did say that we could not fund all of it. So,
Chairman, if I may,
you have already spoken, but are you making a proposal?
well, I think that as a district councillor, I can chip in. I can get in touch with Mr. Warren, his boss. I can chip in as a district councillor. I mean, we have 2 other district councillors around the table. I think this is a job for the district. I don't think it's a job for the town council. That's how I look at it.
Right, okay.
And I'd be happy.
You'd be happy, right.
I would go along with that at this level.
So, Mr. Chairman, we're in a dilemma here. Do we withdraw or do we vote?
We can't withdraw, can we?
Well,
He has to
Speak to
withdraw.
the applicant and ask if he's happy that we defer it to district, and then we can take a vote on deferring it to district as a better place to support them sustainably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I need a proposal to distribute that, sorry.
Yeah, what you said.
I'll second that.
Did you get that, Jackie?
So what we've said is that we're going to propose that it's deferred to district council. If the gentleman's happy, it will be deferred to district council rather than town. That's what we're proposing, if the gentleman's happy.
Yes, I'm happy, yeah. Sorry, I didn't know it was addressed to me, sorry.
So, can we put that to the vote? Those in favour of deferring it to district, please? That looks unanimous. Thank you very much. Thank you. We move on to agenda item number 13, which is to note the minutes of the Events Committee meeting of the 9th of September. It is in your packs, so I will take it that we note it. Agenda item number 14, to note the minutes of the Planning Committee meeting of the 7th of October 2024. Again, it's in your packs, so we will take it that you have noted them.
Excuse me. Can I say something on this, please? If you'll
If
allow
it's
me.
very brief, yes.
I noticed that after this planning meeting only took 7 minutes.
That's irrelevant, thank you.
No, may I make a suggestion that the planning people meeting, you put that with the monthly meeting and only the planning officers.
It's not possible to do that, Peter, because of the speed and timing of which planning applications come in. They have a time limit for us to view them and see them. And if you're worried about the planning committee, it is now live streamed, so you can watch it on TV.
No, I wasn't that. I'm looking at it, these 5 people, they spend a lot of time, they get themselves all ready, they travel to here, have the meeting, and they discuss all this in 7 minutes, when really, to my mind, they could discuss the 7 minutes here. We all keep still, but all the other planning people, they talk about it.
Yeah, I'll allow the chair of the committee to come and give you a response.
Yeah, I think I'd like to speak on behalf of all the members of the committee. Probably don't mind coming in, or I hope they don't mind coming in, because they keep coming in. We very rarely have non-quora. But we do also, when that meeting finishes, we take the opportunity to discuss amongst ourselves several other things, not always council related. So we do, you know.
It's a rare day that takes 7 minutes.
Yeah.
It's just 2
Right.
minutes.
That's it. I'm closing that subject. Thank you. It's done. So we note the minutes of the planning committee. Agenda item number 15, to adopt updated standing orders and financial regulations.
Yes.
Yes, we do. They are in your packs, so I would assume you've all read them.
Yeah, and just to reiterate that anything that's in bold is statutory, and we have to do that. And other things are discretionary. But there has been significant change to the financial regs, particularly in relevance to procurement since 2020.
So we need to adopt them. They are statutory. So can I have a proposer?
Just one further question. Would be a good idea if we could, because I did read them. I read every word, and there are 107 changes. Most of it is to degender it, basically, which is right and proper in today's society. But there's 2 areas where it hasn't been by mistake. They've been left in as chairman, and I just
apologise.
no. I didn't know if it was you or if it was a standard thing.
You get a templated one that tells you what statute is. Probably because I've changed most of them to chair, haven't I?
Yeah, it did absolutely.
Yeah, because
and I just okay. I just thought it was.
Changed it to chair.
I just thought it was if it was a standard, you know, here while from Salk or whoever. This is what we put in. I just thought we could change the last 2. Just to make
if
it
you
right.
can highlight my homework for me, I will get that changed.
Only took me 4 hours.
Sorry.
Right,
But I'm
the
watching.
typos will be replaced. Thank you very much.
Sorry, but we didn't have them in our packs. Would we be able to collect them from the office?
They are downstairs.
Oh no, they were
Add them to the
emailed.
And
folder.
they're emailed now.
Yeah, I saw the email,
Yeah.
but I didn't, because they were a bit long,
Well,
I didn't want to.
it would have been emailed.
Yeah, so they
Yeah,
are
sorry.
downstairs, yes, so they can be collected, can't they?
Yeah.
There is
Have
one.
you not got your pack?
Hmm?
I have, but if they've got amendments in them.
I think they're in a separate pile on the desk.
So could I have a proposer for acceptance? Councillor Brocklehurst and Councillor Nicky Siebert have proposed and seconded. Can we put it to the vote? Thank you very much indeed. Thank you. Agenda item number 16, resolution to exclude the public and the press, that pursuant to the Public Bodies Admissions to Meetings Act 1960, the public and press be excluded from the meeting temporarily due to the confidential nature of the business to be discussed concerning quotes, land, staff and contract. Thank you.
Are you work?
I'm not always based in Brandon.
Oh, right.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, it's a remember.
Your voice.
That should be